Elvis Presley may have been a notorious womanizer during his time, but there was one woman who was able to pin him down, at least for a time. That woman was Priscilla Presley, who met Elvis when she was only 14. Elvis was already a big star at the time, which made Priscilla realize she was going to have a hard time keeping the singer to herself. The two maintained a relationship despite Priscilla's young age and married when it became legal. The marriage lasted for over 5 years, but eventually dissolved before Elvis's death for a variety of reasons. Join Facts First as we discuss what Priscilla Presley disclosed was the thing she feared most about Elvis. Priscilla Presley met Elvis Presley when she was only 14. Elvis was already a big star, and Priscilla was instantly starstruck. While any girl at the time would have been shocked to be in the same room as Elvis, Priscilla had more specific feelings. According to her, she knew instantly she needed to have the pioneering rock and roll singer to herself. Her young age made the relationship problematic, but Elvis still found himself won over by her charms. When Priscilla met Elvis, he was staying in Germany as a result of his World War II involvement. Elvis ended up returning back to America without Priscilla, given the fact that she was too young to be in a romantic relationship with him. But Priscilla maintained her infatuation with him, and the two made plans to be together as soon as it was legally feasible. 3 years after Elvis's return to the States, Priscilla's parents allowed her to move to America and live with the singer's family in Memphis. Due to the fact that she was still young, her parents only allowed this with the stipulation that Priscilla would live with Elvis's parents instead of the singer himself. Still, the two spent plenty of time together leading up to their eventual marriage. They finally tied the knot nearly 7 years after meeting. Priscilla was 21, Elvis was 32. One might imagine some of the magic may have gone from the relationship by the time they tied the knot, but that wasn't the case. Priscilla was more infatuated with Elvis than ever after the wedding ceremony, and she couldn't wait to start living her domestic life with the man she'd been courting ardently for so many years. The pair married in 1967, and the marriage lasted for over 5 years, ending in 1973. In 1968, Priscilla and Elvis had a daughter, Lisa Marie. Of course, Lisa Marie Presley has since come to be as notable of a public figure as her mother, helping carry on the legacy of her father. While Priscilla and Elvis had strong feelings for each other, they soon began experiencing troubles in their marriage. Many of these troubles came from Priscilla's immense fears that Elvis might be cheating on her. Elvis was known as a womanizer before meeting Priscilla, and women still wanted the singer's attention after the wedding. Priscilla knew she would have to keep a close eye on Elvis to make sure no women managed to get their hands on him. She had her work cut out for her, as Elvis brushed shoulders with different attractive female celebrities nearly every day. According to Priscilla, it got to the point where she wasn't comfortable letting Elvis leave the house by himself because she was so afraid another woman would try to steal him. In addition to her growing jealousy, there was also Elvis's worsening temper. Elvis apparently suffered from anger issues during their marriage, though mostly as a result of him seeing people he didn't like on TV. According to Priscilla, if Elvis saw someone he didn't like on the television set, he would shoot the set with his .357 Magnum revolver and then call his dad in the other room and request he go out and buy another television. One might wonder the kinds of things Elvis got so mad about that he had to shoot his TV, and it seems like it was usually singers on the television that he thought lacked passion. Some examples of singers that caused Elvis to shoot his TV include classic crooners Mel Torme and Robert Goulet. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. And stick around for more about Priscilla and Elvis. After Priscilla and Elvis Presley divorced in 1973, Priscilla went on to make somewhat of a name for herself on television. She had a notable role on Dallas and even appeared in the Naked Gun series of films. The disillusion of her and Elvis's marriage had occurred for a variety of reasons, though Priscilla's jealousy was one of the biggest. Her concerns weren't unsubstantiated, as Elvis had always been a notorious womanizer. One of the first women Elvis ever fell in love with was Deborah Paget, who appeared alongside him in the film that was his big screen debut. That was the Western Love Me Tender, which featured the song of the same name. Deborah played Elvis's love interest and quickly became his love interest in real life. The two had met previously during Elvis's infamous and controversial second performance on The Milton Berle Show. When the two reunited on the set of Love Me Tender, they struck up a romance. Elvis was so stricken with Deborah he would drive to her family's house at night and watch to make sure no other men were paying her visits. Sadly, Deborah was romantically involved with mogul Howard Hughes at the same time, and Howard ended up winning out over Elvis. Things didn't work out between Elvis and Deborah, and Elvis was devastated. According to Elvis, every lover after Deborah looked like her to him, including Priscilla. Although Elvis remained hung up on Deborah, he didn't let it show. The singer was involved with innumerable women besides Deborah, both before and after his marriage to Priscilla. Despite the fact that things didn't work out between Elvis and Deborah, the latter would speak positively about the former after his untimely death. According to Deborah, there was a depth to Elvis that was never fully utilized by any of his handlers when it came to his appearances on screen. While the singer may have been able to emote in a way that he wanted to with his voice, Deborah claims there was always something holding him back when it came to his starring roles in feature films. Fans might argue otherwise, as many of the singer's features remain incredibly popular. Elvis and Deborah's relationship occurred shortly before Elvis met his future wife Priscilla, but Ursula Andress represented a star that tried to get her hands on Elvis during his marriage. Ursula was the first Bond girl, having famously appeared in the film Dr. No. After the success of that film, Elvis's handlers wanted to get their own star on the beach with Ursula. Once Ursula found herself in the same room as Elvis, she became instantly smitten. But there were a few reasons Elvis never reciprocated Ursula's advances. For one thing, he was married to Priscilla at the time. However, Elvis proved over the course of their marriage that he wasn't above cheating on his wife when he was away at work. But the other reason was director John Derek, who was Ursula's husband at the time. John was insanely in love with Ursula, and Elvis didn't want to catch the director's ire. Also, the singer made a habit of staying away from married women. Although Elvis didn't reciprocate Ursula's advances, the former Bond girl still found other ways to cheat on her spouse. Despite John Derek's immense affection for his wife, the two ended up separating due to her numerous infidelities. Priscilla was aware her husband was working with Ursula and questioned him about whether or not he found her attractive. Priscilla was glad to hear he didn't. Priscilla Presley is still with us today and likes to help keep Elvis Presley in the public spotlight. Although the two divorced during the singer's lifetime, Priscilla still maintained a great deal of respect for her husband. If her biggest fear was losing Elvis to other women, Elvis's biggest fear was losing the attention of the public after his death. According to Priscilla, Elvis strongly wanted to be remembered for many years after his passing, which is something she's trying to posthumously help him with. And the singer is essentially as popular as ever. Priscilla was Elvis's only wife during his lifetime, though he had many other romantic interests. After they divorced in 1973, Elvis only lived a few more years before his 1977 death. Priscilla is now 76 years old and has never remarried. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Priscilla Presley was incredibly paranoid about Elvis cheating on her? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to FactsVerse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.